definitely, but you have to seek your own opportunities, you know, like things don't just fall on your lap. I think the most interesting thing about doing that is that sometimes you have to do it all by yourself, which might sometimes take away the attention from music itself. Like if you try to be a businessman and you know you try to be your own visual person, or like you know you try to do so many things, and ultimately if you want to be a musician you have to put in the hours to practice or hone your craft, or like just to explore ideas and experiment with things, no matter what style of music you're working on, even as a writer. Yeah, sometimes it might just take the attention away from the music, which is sadly that's some of you see some of that happening around you. Like people get caught up in maintaining this image and you know stuff like that, you know, in social media you get so caught up with your likes and all of that that you don't have time to yourself to think about what you really want to say, or what you really want to sing about, or what you want to play, or what kind of music speaks to you, or what medium do you want to use to speak to people as a musician, as an artist, to reflect on the times of your, like, you know, whatever that you perceive at the moment, stuff like that. So I think those things require a lot of space and time to nurture, to be mature lah, to be mature about it. Okay, I believe that this is all art. It shouldn't be separate entities, you know. As much as you need to listen to something, it's being visual is very important. As you can see the trend today, it's a caffeinated society, very short attention span, and it's always about the image first, for the audience, you know. I think for the artist, if that visual aesthetic appeal thing is something that is true to your nature, like that you really care about, then yes, that, because it's natural, you know, it's fine. But at the moment it becomes forced, like, oh, I have to wear this so that, you know, they think that I'm cool, you know, I have to dress like that, I have to take a photo, this whatever lah, that kind of stuff, I don't really care. Then it becomes unnatural, and when it's unnatural, it amplifies when you're on stage, because you know everyone is just, it's a vibe, they can feel it. Yes, it is important, and it's integral, because being able to see something, it retains that memory, but it shouldn't be everything, and it should always be like natural to you as an artist and not forced. If you're exploring something, fine, but it shouldn't be the priority. If you want to be a musician, then work on the music first, and like, you know, the other things are just peripheral. So it's difficult to spend money to hire people to settle things for you. So I understand if, you know, independent musicians have to, you know, work on all of those things themselves, and as a result, you know, you can't spend as much time as you would love on your music. So it's all part and parcel, I guess. It's just what you want to prioritize at that moment, and for me it's the music. For me, music is about being honest, because if you can't even be honest to your own art, then what's the point, right? Yeah, so I do that, but I know sometimes you can't be too upfront about things, because you know you're telling a story and you want people to be able to relate to that idea as much as you can, even though it's from a different perspective. So I just spend like time trying to bridge that gap. It shouldn't be self-serving music. I don't believe in that. Like, yes, shiok lah, I play, right? I sing my own song, but I also want my audience to be able to feel where even if they don't understand where I'm coming from, at least get the emotion that I'm trying to, you know, bring to them, or just release from me. Sometimes we get very caught up in the trend and what's cool and what's hip, which is maybe, for example, now they trying to bring back the entire R&B 80s sound, and like, you know, we also to be cool and maybe to get on radio and like to get more hits and people come for my gigs, I have to write something like that to appeal to them, because that's trendy, right? But what we don't see is why are these people so appealing to us now? And what did they listen to, and what did they experience growing up that make them the artists that they are now? For me, I like to do the geek thing lah, which is to backtrack and read up on their history, read the autobiography. I buy lots of books and I just read their life stories. Very important to know where, like for example, okay, if I'm very into Amy Winehouse or Erykah Badu, who are they into? You have your Billie Holiday, you have your Sarah Vaughan, Stevie Wonder, all that. You have to go back to the tradition so that you understand where they come from. It's not a superficial thing, because superficial things are not sustainable. If this genre of music, jazz, R&B, neo soul, if that's what if that genre of music speaks to me, I have to know what's going on. I have to know the history, I have to know the culture of it, I have to know where it came from and who are the champions of that music. Then I can speak the language properly, because if not, it's just blabbering. That it's just piecing words together and trying to write like an essay that doesn't make sense, and you can only write one of those essays because you have no other vocabulary. It's all about, getting that vocabulary and putting it into yourself. It's necessary lah, for even for your own growth. Like, it's very easy to be the big fish in a small pond, and we're so tiny in Singapore. I personally believe that it's good, very beneficial to get out there and to learn as much as you can, to experience as much as you can. It's not only about like checking out new music, it's about traveling with a band, learning how to live together, and truly loving each other as bandmates and as family. Then the music can happen, because it's all about human to human interaction. And when you play something, it's an energy that you give out. So going out there, going to a different city, working with different officers of different festivals, even if you're doing your own gig, learning how to communicate with people from different cultures, and all of that, like, helps with the growth. And when you go there and check out new music, or just even like simple things like production wise, you pick up all these new habits or like things that you want to keep, and letting that grow you as a musician, and bringing those things back and sharing it with your peers. I think those things are really important to just allow the music industry to flourish, because we can't be self-contained. It's not possible anymore. Yeah. For me, I believe that it has to all come together. Right now we have musicians doing their own thing. We have artists doing their own thing. We have music business people doing their own thing. Maybe in my ecosystem it's not very apparent to me, but I believe that all these avenues have to come together to work together. Because right now we're like, you're pushing this front, I'm pushing this front, you're pushing this front. But, if everyone just got together, very ideal lah, very if we just tried to build those bridges and believe in the good of each part of it. Like, you can't have just one arm and want to clap. You have to have your whole body to like ride a bike, and if you don't ride, the bike will fall. Like, we all have to come together and be a body to push to ride the bike. Okay, let's have like a vibrant art scene, or like city thing, and we try to make this like beautiful tree of art and music in Singapore, and we're just like buying leaves from other countries and trying to stick them on our wall. But these things take time, because music art, it's a reflection of the times. And if your people are not ready, if your education system is all about getting the best grades, survival of the fittest, and you're packed so much, your schedule is packed so much by classes and things like that, like, oh, you must go to EM1, oh, you must have higher mother tongue, oh, you this, that. You don't have the time to think for yourself and the things that you really want, or the things that you believe in, and those creative processes that you have in your head, it just gets shut out because you're too busy thinking about, oh, when I finish school I'm going to be like an accountant, so I have to take all the accounting classes during my holidays. So you don't have time basically to yourself to think about these important issues, very little empathy, that kind of stuff. But these people, like artists, we do exist, and it's all about, you can't change the world, but you can change things one by one, and it always starts from you. Yeah.